Hello, everybody. Eric Worre here. And if you're live, if you can hear me, you can see me, put a number 1 in the chat. And I have to explain this apparatus around my shoulder. Last week, I had surgery on this shoulder. They fixed my rotator cuff. They fixed my bicep tendon. And I'm super excited to be out of pain and be able to do more things, to be able to be more active, for my workouts to be more effective. I'm excited about all of that. The theme of today is how to crush 2023, and we're going to be talking about how to become unbreakable. Unbreakable. If you know anything about me, my mission is to help people in their search for excellence, specifically in their entrepreneurial journey. For them to strive to become world class, for them to continue to search for good ideas. And more than anything else, we're going to be talking to Grant Cardone in just one moment. And if you're on this and you're listening to this, go tag a friend into this, send somebody the link, tag a friend wherever you're watching this, have them watch this, because ideas will change your life. And what I learned early on in my career is if I could listen to people who are smarter than I am, people who are farther down the road than I am down the road, and they can call back to me and they could give me a lesson. They could say, hey, watch out, there's this pothole coming. Or look, there's a shortcut that you can take. You don't have to take that long journey. There's a shortcut that will cut 5 years off of your career. And what I learned ultimately is that wisdom, mentors, strategies, good ideas are like a time machine. I used to always be fascinated by seeing movies that there was a time machine in the movie, and you can get in this time machine and you can all of a sudden be in the future. And I didn't realize at the time, but I found out in my life that time machines are real. And I'm going to introduce you to a potential time machine for you on this conversation, during this video conversation. And here's what I mean by a time machine. If you find the right mentor, if you find the right collection of mentors, if you find the right ideas, imagine those ideas are inside a little capsule, and you just step into that capsule and you absorb those ideas and you step back out. You're now 5 years smarter without being 5 years older. What's that without being a time machine? Maybe you're 1 year smarter. Maybe you're 3 years smarter. Maybe you're 10 years smarter without being 10 years older. What if that was real for you? And what I'm going to introduce you to today is a friend of mine that's helped a lot of people. I hope if you've watched my work that you feel smarter without necessarily having to go through the 35 years of trial and error that I've had to go through. I can give you a little bit of a roadmap when it comes to network marketing, but when it comes to investment, when it comes to business, when it comes to resilience, when it comes to being smart in this thing we call life and these businesses that we build, the person I'm going to bring on now is one of those people that's helped me and helped millions of other people. And we're going to talk about some strategies for you to become unbreakable in 2023, for you to crush this 2023. We're going to talk about that a bit, and we're even going to answer some of your questions as we go through this conversation. But without further ado, let me bring on my friend and yours, Grant Cardone. Grant, are you there?
Yes, sir. I am here for you, my friend.
How are you, buddy?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yep. And now you're going to be able to throw those dice even better.
I know. I'm ready. Grant and I, we only played backgammon one time for like 15 seconds, and he did beat me those 15 seconds. And I've been waiting for a rematch. Ever since, he's been ducking me. Every time he comes through Vegas, he doesn't come over to play. He's been ducking me. He's been trying to avoid me because he doesn't want to give up his winning streak.
I've been working. I'm working hard, man. Preparing for 2023.
I hear that. Let's talk about this idea of being unbreakable. You've got a challenge that's coming up. We're going to tell people about on this theme of being unbreakable. Why is that such a big deal?
Well, let me just say, first of all, you know, for all of you guys in network marketing, this next year, the next 24 months is going to be probably one of the 2 best years in the last 25 years of network marketing. I 1000% like believe that what's about to happen in the economy is going to make more network marketers, more entrepreneurs. I mean, it's going to make a lot of people. It's going to break a lot of people too. So this is going to be a make or break pivot year. It's going to be pivot for the best or pivot for the worst. And it's really up to you guys. If you're already in the vehicle, if you're already on this network marketing engine, which is really a new age, you're at the forefront, at the beginning. You're at ground zero of a business model that has really not even. How old is network marketing, Eric?
It's like 70 years old, but here's what I would tell you. It's still a baby. Yeah. And you're absolutely right.
Infant.
This right now, this is a tale of two cities in network marketing. It's the best of times for some, and it's the worst of times for others. And some are tough and are growing through the adversity, and others are weak. And I don't know if you saw the same thing as I saw, that I've noticed, Grant, in the last 2 years through the pandemic, is we have grown up an ocean of weaklings. What ended up happening is, you know, if you consider yourself tough, put a number 1 in the chat if you consider yourself tough. And then secondly, put into the chat, what made you tough? What made you tough? And it wasn't good times. It wasn't an easy path. It was getting punched in the face that made you tough. And what happened, something weird happened during this pandemic that usually in network marketing, people get punched in the face, they get back up, they get punched in the face, they get back up. Somebody quit their team, they get back up, you know, they shake themselves off, they go to work. And now, just in the last 18 months or so, the wind blows in people's faces and they burst into tears. They're just not as tough as they were 2 years ago. So I will tell you, toughness is going to be rewarded and apathy is going to be punished over the next 24 months. So this idea of becoming unbreakable is really, really big. So sorry to hijack what you're saying, Grant, but I'm passionate about it. And I'm watching people struggle and struggle into apathy, struggle into inaction. You know, they're faced with some obstacle and they put their foot on the brakes instead of moving forward through the resistance, which is what's necessary.
Yeah, 100%. So this is what I was saying, was this is going to be a real opportunity for not just individuals, but an entire industry to morph. And I really believe, like, you know, network marketing has always benefited when there's unemployment, job layoffs, inflationary periods, stock market and real estate contractions. All that's happening right now. So you guys are going to get recruits organically because families have to feed themselves. They have to pay their bills. They know that. While Eric might be ragging on you guys for giving up. Giving up is a very difficult thing to do. You can't really give up. You can give up for a little while, but the truth is you'll get hungry enough, you'll go back to work. And what he's saying to you is, like, you don't need to do that. You're just wasting time when you do that. Because you know this whole thing about 2 steps forward and 1 step backward. You don't have to take the 1 step backward if you don't want to. You know, I was last night I was with I'm not going to tell you his name, but one of the biggest movie stars in the world. If I said his name, you would know who it is. And this guy told me story after story. Nobody has ever heard these stories. And I'm like, bro, you got like I was like literally in goosebumps for 2 hours. And about this guy telling me like, hey, I knew when I was 4 years old what I would be. And everything I did between the age of 4 years old and when I became 24 years old was to be that. And people look at me today and think, oh, it's all been this and that. He's like, no, nobody has a clue what I had to do to make my dream a reality. He's like, the dream was free. It was always there. I never heard these stories from this guy, Eric. And maybe when we're in France, I'll share it with you more intimately.
Just for fun, everybody in the chat, see if you can guess who it is. Just for fun.
It was phenomenal, dude. It was phenomenal, this conversation, right? It was like crazy. And I'm like, bro, I've never heard these. I have never heard this story. It's like, I've never told the story. So anyway, the point is, I'm like, everybody that I know that's successful, and I've been around some super successful people, Eric, yourself, included. They all have the story about, man, I knew I was going to be somebody and I didn't quit until I got there. And even when I did get close to quitting, I got back up and got it again. The point of that story, folks, is when you're thinking about quitting, no, it wasn't Andrew Tate. Please stop it. Somebody said Andrew Tate. Come on, man. The thing about quitting, you guys have to understand, quitting is not really something you can do. Not on this planet. You can die, but you can't quit. So you can't quit because this thing is continuing to move no matter what. The guy on the street corner that's without a job and without work and he's begging for food, he hadn't quit. And the guy that's making the next movie, or the Jamie Dimon that runs JP Morgan, he hadn't quit either. Doesn't matter where you're at in the food chain, you can't quit. When I went to a treatment center for drug addiction, I quit my drug. I quit using drugs. But that didn't mean my life got better. I mean, it got a little bit better. I had to then start recreating my life, So when you quit a job, you got to go start another job. You're just quitting to start something else, right? So you guys I just want to say to everybody, you're in a great vehicle called network marketing. Whatever the name of your company is less important. Now what matters is your courage, your persistence, your creativity, and mostly your commitment. And my commitment in 2023, one thing we're going to be doing in a week, we're going to spend an entire day fortifying your commitment, your goals, what you deserve to have in your life.
Can we break this down, Grant? Because the reason why Grant and I were talking, I don't know, last week or something, and he said, hey, I got this challenge coming up, and I think it might help people inside the network marketing space, and it's free, a free challenge. And how many days is this challenge, Grant?
Well, it's 5 days if you want to come to the whole thing.
Well, if you're going to do it, right? A 5 day
I'm
time
going to be
machine?
there 5 days.
Yeah. A 5 days for how much a day? How much time a day?
Well, it'll cost me millions.
No, not cost.
It'll cost me hundreds of millions to do it. But I'm going to help a bunch of people in 5 days.
So here's what I'm asking. What's the time commitment for a person to be a part of this each day? Like at 90 minutes a day?
Well, no, like if you wanted to come the whole day, it's 5 days. It's 5 full days.
5 full days. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm there the entire time.
Fantastic. And when does it, what days?
No, Jared's saying, what is it, 90 minutes, Jared? Jared, is it 90 minutes a day or all day? I feel like it's all day. Jared's got me working all day long, man.
Of course.
Yeah.
I've seen from the group. It says 5 days for 90 minutes a day.
5 days, 90 minutes a day. You give me 5 days in a row, 90 minutes a day. And if I don't make you a millionaire, I'll give you $1 million.
That's a pretty bold statement. Show up for 90 minutes for 5 days straight. And
if you don't become a millionaire,
you're going to be given the tools to go after it.
Tell you what I'll do. I can't promise you I'll give you everybody $1 million, but I'll give you your money back and your time back.
There you go.
I'm going to show you guys. You know, I did this show called Undercover Billionaire. I built a $5.5 million business without using my name or any money. And I did it in 90 days. I'll show you guys. I'll unlock, decodify, lay it out for you, give you the blueprint to exactly what I did to know that I could be dropped off in a city. By the way, a city that is not in financially good shape. Like it's one of the worst financially, it's got more poverty in that one city they dropped me off in. It ranks in the top 10% of all the poorest countries in America. And that's where they dropped me off in. So I can show you how I knew I could go there and I could build $1 million business.
Grant,
and I'll show you guys how to do it.
I watched that again last week.
Yeah.
The whole show again last week with Lisa Nichols. Her and her husband were here in town. So she was just absolutely, she stayed up till 5 a.m. because she had to see, you know, how is he going to get out of this situation and what's going to happen here? And now COVID just showed up and all of that stuff. So she was absolutely immersed, and we were immersed with her watching it for, I think, the third time. But this starts January 24th, right?
Yeah, January 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 5 days, 90
5
minutes
days.
a day.
And let me just throw up a link, and we're going to continue to have this conversation. Let me throw up a link that people can throw that up, Alexi. So if you scan that code, or you just go, they create a little link for us, Unbreakable Eric, thank you, with my shoulder, unbreakableeric.com, or scan, and that will get you registered. There's no fee to participate in this. I'm sure there might be a VIP thing that you can get involved with if you want to, but just to watch every day, soak up all the information, soak up all the knowledge, you're going to be able to get this. So here's what I want you to do. Put a number 7 in the chat if you're going to register for this 5-day challenge. It's free. Throw a 7 in the chat if you're going to do that. All right. I would expect, let me tell you this. The different ways you can approach something like this when an opportunity comes up. When you have I don't even know how to describe you, Grant, when it comes to how wealthy you are, but an extremely wealthy and successful.
Well, no, you could use the word you didn't want to use. It's true.
I just want to. I don't know what's okay to use and what's not to use.
You don't need to doubt it. Don't doubt me, bro.
All right. If a billionaire says, "I'm going to help you, and I'm going to help you for free for 5 days, and I'm going to bring in a whole bunch of high-powered friends that are going to do that," I would pay attention to that. Because guess how hard it is to actually get mentored by a billionaire in real life? I've been mentored by 3. And it was literally like I got struck by lightning. It was so fortunate that it happened in my life, that I was in the right place at the right time. Try and buy a billionaire lunch. It is not an easy thing to do. Try and get a billionaire to pour themselves into you. It is not an easy thing to do. So when you have this type of situation, you can approach it and you can register and show up if you have time, which is weak.
It's so arrogant, by the way. People are so arrogant. I'll try to get on.
I know it's super weak. Or
Dude.
2, you could register and you show up ready to take notes, soaking up all the knowledge. 3, here's where the leverage of network marketing shows up. Everybody on your team participates with you. What if every single person on your team was able to be mentored by a billionaire and all of his successful friends over the course of 5 days, 90 minutes a day? They offered that up to you for free. How would you not take advantage of that? I think you'd be pretty stupid.
I'll tell you, Eric, you don't know this story, but
go.
2000, maybe 14, I spent 92 days with a billionaire. Okay. Those 92 days, I figured out how to, like what you just said a few minutes ago about buying a billionaire a lunch is not an easy thing to do.
Super tough.
I'm 64 years old. I spent 90 days with a guy. Now I was 54, 53 years old when I met him. I figured out how to spend 92 days with the guy. It cost me a bunch to do it. Cost me more than lunch. Trust me. Cost me 90 days of my life, right? In 8 years, I accomplished more in 8 years after spending 92 days with this guy than I did in the previous 54 years combined.
It was the ultimate time machine.
Times at least, not 10, times 100.
Yeah.
So it was like,
it was an actual time machine. And for you to have to have learned that without those 92 days on your own, I don't know if you have enough years to have it even be meaningful. I had the same thing happen to me. The first billionaire, Grant, I'll give you one lesson that I got from a billionaire. And the lesson was this. The billionaire said, how much you want to make, young man? I said, well, I'd always want to make $1 million a year. He said, well, all right, that's about $500 an hour. Is there something that you could do in your business that pays $500 an hour? And I said, well, I thought about it. And if I'm prospecting, if I'm in front of a prospect in network marketing, that's $500 an hour activity if I'm doing that. He said, well, starting today, anything that pays less than $500 an hour, you need to not do anymore. You need to have somebody else do that for you, so long as it can be done by somebody else. It's not an emotional need for from your family. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, do you mow the grass? I said, yeah. He said, what is that? How long does that take you? An hour? How much could you pay somebody else to do that? $30. He said, well, every time you mow the grass, you're losing $470. So I immediately stopped doing everything. I stopped doing, to this day, people in my family still roll their eyes at me. I don't have a toolbox. I don't have a screwdriver. I couldn't tell you where a hammer was in this house. I have a support system. I haven't put gas in the car in 10 years. I just don't do it. I'm focused on my purpose. That one 5-minute conversation from a billionaire changed my ability to have an impact on the world. It really did. And I'm seeing people put into the chat, registered. Let's just do this, make it more simple. As you're getting registered, put I'm in into the chat. Put I'm in into the chat. All right? I want to see that you're serious about this. Now, can you share some of the other people that are going to be joining you you by yourself is worth the price of admission, but can you share some of the guests that are going to be
Let me just talk about, I think more important than the people that are there is what people are going to walk out with. You guys.
Perfect.
You just look at, like, here we are in the second, third week of January. Most people are already giving up on their goals, forgot that it's a new year. Now it's just kind of back to business as usual. Just want to give everybody a little wake-up call right here. You're about to face the toughest economy you have in your lifetime. If you're under 30 years old, you're about to experience something you haven't ever experienced. Trust me. This is going to pick up where COVID left off. You didn't feel the full brunt of COVID when 40 million people were laid off. Most of you don't even know what it's like to be in an unemployment era. I grew up with when I was growing up, 20 years old, 1 out of every 4 people didn't have a job. When 1 out of 4 people don't have a job, money stops moving around. Now, in all fairness to everybody, we also didn't have the kind of internet economy that we have today. There's so many more opportunities today that can actually lift a society up and out. I don't know that it will lift everybody out, because I don't think most people are looking for a way out, back to what Eric was talking about, apathy. But this is going to be for your family. Now, let's not even talk about you guys for a second. Many of you guys are like, I'm doing all right, I'm taking care of myself. You're going to have to take care of more than yourself. Your parents are going to lose jobs, your brother, your uncle, your aunt, your grandparents, okay? The government system could fail and not be able to take care of that grandpa or grandma that you love so much. This is going to happen, and you guys are not getting ready for it. I want to give you a 2023 wake-up call, okay? Medicare, Social Security, unemployment programs could fail in your lifetime. Now, you could sit there and be like, oh, they failed us. But you could also be the hero of your family. And I'm going to tell you something. More important than being a billionaire or millionaire is being the hero of your family. Be the example in your family. Be the one person that can save your family from poverty and from homelessness. This is a real thing that happens to people. And so every time I see a homeless guy, I'm like, oh, wow, there's a homeless guy right there. But behind every homeless guy is a brother, an uncle, an aunt, a mom, a dad that couldn't take care of that person because they didn't do enough to save that other person. They did enough to save their own ass, and not enough to save the next person. So this is a sad case that here in one of the richest countries in America, you know, if it's happening in America, it's happening in other places. So this is going to be a tremendous pivot year for you and for you to become that hero, to put on that that Superman or Batwoman costume and say, hey, I'm gonna go out and save my family this year. So get registered for this event. TD Jakes is going to be on with me, Eric. Pete Vargas, Robert Herjavec is going to be on. My wife Elena will be on. My wife Elena, her goal is to literally save the family dynamic. Like if you can save the family dynamic, if you watch my family, me, my wife, and my 2 kids, man, we're all going in the same direction all the time. So when you guys pull together as a family or with your loved ones, get your wife and your kids and your husband and your parents and your extended family on the same page, doing a business together, you're unstoppable. So the first day is about that. It's like, what's your goals? Second day is how do you market yourself so that you actually start telling the world the story? Like you guys, many of you know me as a marketing guy. You don't even know what I do. You just see me marketing on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and you see paid ads. But most of what you see, though, is we don't even spend money on. And so I'm going to spend day 2 just talking about how you can become a celebrity, how you could actually have, you know, you could reach into any street corner or corner of the internet and make friends and customers.
Put superstar into the chat if you'd like to become a celebrity, if you'd like to learn how to reach more people.
You should, by the way. Celebrity means free. A following.
How to develop a following. How many of you want to be a superstar? He's going to cover that on day 2. I'm going to be taking extra serious notes. Day 2. I got to learn. It's so funny. When Grant kind of came on the scene, we had the same amount of followers for about 15 minutes. And then he absolutely demolished every single number I ever even thought of. But because he really mapped this thing out. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's day 2.
You know, Eric, the first time I heard the word celebrity, I'm like, it was actually in a marketing course I was doing. It was on I ran across this word and I looked up the word celebrity because I thought it just meant a star. But I'm looking it up again right now, but it actually means the state of being well known. And it comes from the word honored. And if you look up if you think about the word honored, right? Somebody that is honored is trusted. Right. And then what happens when I'm honored is I can get people will do business with me faster because they trust me and honor me. They'll actually give me things. I'm not having to sell them things anymore. They'll give me their trust. They'll give me their time. They'll give me their money. And so it's really important for everybody out there to understand, you know, celebrities, they come in all sizes, colors. They're tall, they're short, fat, thin, white, brown, black, male, female, young, old. Celebrities come in all kind of versions. Everybody can be a celebrity. Everybody can have a following. And so if you want to be powerful on this planet, Gandhi, Jesus, King, Kennedy, these people had followings, ordinary people that did what appeared to be extraordinary things. But between ordinary and extraordinary, they had followings. So we'll be on day 2, we'll be talking about how to become a celebrity in your space. Eric's a celebrity in his space. Me and Eric together become bigger celebrities. Me, Eric, TD Jakes become bigger celebrities again. Right? So we'll show you how to do that. It's free. It doesn't cost anything to do that. It doesn't cost anything to come, and it doesn't cost anything to actually implement on the strategies that I'm going to give you on day 2.
So what about day 3?
Well, and let me just say, because see, what happens with you guys is you guys go pitch your mom and your dad on your network marketing idea and they say no to you. And then you get all disappointed, right? Like, you know, you shouldn't even have to pitch them. They ought to be freaking begging you to come in.
Mm.
And if you were successful enough, they would beg you to come in. So day 3, we're going to talk about how to start monetizing. How do you monetize your marketing? How do you monetize that you're known? How do you get people to actually transact with you? I was at a charity event yesterday, Eric. I raised almost $2 million in 30 seconds because of some of the stuff that I'm going to show you. If you've ever been to a charity event that took hours and hours and dinners and, you know, they bring on entertainment and they come out and do the auction and they got all the gifts and everything. In 32 seconds, I raised $2 million without a gimmick, without lunch, without giving an award out. I didn't even do a speech, bro. So how fast can you take an
influence,
idea?
Right? It's about influence and the ability to, you're doing it to help people. And when we're talking about monetize, it's not about taking, it's about being able to give. That's all we do in network marketing.
It's also about simplifying. It's also about simplifying the ask, right? So
yeah.
See, a lot of you guys explain stuff that you don't need to explain.
Give me an example.
Actually, you explaining things actually is what causes everything to slow down. So the speed at which something can move, the speed at which an idea can be monetized by itself will determine how successful you are.
I love that.
And the speed of communication and the ease of communication actually promotes more trust and confidence. So, dude, success is not difficult unless you don't understand it.
Right.
When you don't understand it, you know, like it's hard to get someplace when you've never been there before. Like just go in the grocery store and you want to find the brown rice and you don't know that it's on aisle 11 on the second row down at the bottom. Dude, you're all over the place. You're looking at you walk in the grocery store and you're like, where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go, man? What if somebody just walked you over there and showed you where the brown rice was? That's really success.
Yeah. If you'll do it.
I mean, Eric, you and I are so lucky to have even gotten where we are.
For sure. For sure. I mean, I think people have to have 3 things. And then when they get the knowledge, they're on fire. If they're willing, number 1, if they're coachable, number 2, and if they're hungry, number 3. If they have those 3 things, and then you attach knowledge from a trusted, valuable source to those 3 attributes, then they're unstoppable. So put 1, 2, 3 in the chat. If you're willing, hungry, and coachable, right? If you're those 3 things, and all you need is the information, all you need is the roadmap, all you need is the treasure map, all you need is somebody to give you the info. And if you have those 3 things, I promise you, no matter where you're at today, no matter how much money you're making or how many times you've failed in the past, if you have those 3 things with the right information, then you're unstoppable, truly. So what are they going to do day 4? What's day 4 and day 5?
Well, day 4 is like, you know, how do you scale this so you build a real business?
I'm so interested in scale. And everybody listen to this. You got to be so interested in leverage because you can sell your product, but you got to get leverage. Go ahead. I'll get out of your way. I get fired up. Sorry.
In a period of time that you've known me, Eric, you've watched me like
leverage. It's unbelievable. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. You're Mr. Leverage.
Like you seen me. I was listening to you. I thought you were going to go on and on.
No. I want to hear you because I've created leverage on my leverage. No, you've created leverage on your leverage on your leverage on your leverage on your leverage. You leverage your leverage like 15,000 times. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I like in 12 years, I didn't know I could do this, right? It was because people started believing in me, man. One, and then when I started seeing other people do this, when it became real to me, you know, that, you know, when I saw, oh, wow, dude, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? I'll tell you one of the biggest culprits, one of the biggest thieves in our society, and one of the biggest mistakes I made in my career was like simply just not being around the right people. I was around people that loved me when I should have been around people that had done something. You know, oh man, I love her so much. I love this, but they hadn't done anything. Like guys, you know, you can love you know, you need to get around some people that have done something so you can take care of the ones you love. Because if you're not around people that have done something, you can't really, you can only do to the degree that you're around winners. I'm sorry, your golf game's not going to get better playing around guys that don't know how to play golf. And Eric's backgammon game is not going to get better while he plays around them chumps that he plays around. So
you keep ducking me. You keep ducking me.
And you got whatever it is you guys are trying to do, right? You got to get around people that are doing more, because the moment you do, the moment you can see, like I remember seeing this guy's this guy I was telling you I hung out with, right? I said, bro, he's like, what do you want from me, man? After like a week and a half, he's like, what do you want from me? I said, no, man, I'm good. He's like, no, come on, man. He's like, if you wanted something. I said, well, I might have told you this story, Eric. I said, look, bro, I just want to see how much money you got. He's like, well, what does that look like to you? I said, let me just see your statement. I know you got a statement. We were having breakfast. We were in Aruba. And he's like, yeah, sure, man. Go look at it. It's right over there. Sitting in the top drawer. Just open it up. Open the desk drawer. Open it up, bro. Like $463 million in cash. Eric, I'd never seen a number that big on somebody's actual account. That was like, oh my God. And then I sat down with him, I'm like, how do you do this? He's like, you got to scale, man. And he's like, if the idea can't be scaled, move. Leave it alone. Like, now, network marketing is one of the most scalable vehicles in the planet. Yeah. The other thing about network marketing is you guys have built-in winners around you. You got a built-in infrastructure of people that want to do better. So, you know, that was 2000 and I don't know, 22, 20, it couldn't have been more than 2012, less than 10 years ago. Today, I own 16 companies. Those 16 companies are probably worth $3 billion. That doesn't count the real estate that's worth $4 billion. And it all happened in 10 years, man. And I'm the same guy I was 10 years ago. I'm not any different. I'm the same guy. I got the same language. I act the same way that I did then, but everything else changed.
Everything changed big time. Grant, let me ask you, can we take some questions from the audience? Is that all right?
Eric, you know I'm here to serve you, my friend.
Oh, you're the best.
I wish I could help your shoulder, but I can't.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. I've practiced throwing the dice. I'll be ready when the time comes.
Okay.
We're just going to take it from the people who had the Zoom link. If you go, there's a Q&A button at the bottom. If you
Grace, I'm drinking 4 shots. This is 4 shots with foam to the top. That's how I drink my drinks. It's 4 shots of espresso.
4 shots of espresso with foam at the top.
And I could go take a nap right after I drink this, by the way. This
really?
is not a caffeine thing. Oh, yeah, 100%.
So a person asked, can you give me an example of leveraging on top of leverage? Let me give you a quick example for network marketing. The first is, if you sell a product in network marketing, you sell it once, but if that person rebuys from the company again, and you didn't have to make the sale the second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, the 10th month that they bought, you got some leverage. You ended up not having to make the sale in the future, but you made the sale once and you got the leverage of the repeat sale. Then you build a team. If you start recruiting some people, you get some more leverage. You start getting some percentage on your team instead of just 100% of yourself. You teach your team to build a team. Now you get some leverage as the team continues to grow. And then, now listen to me, because if this is one thing that I wish I would have learned from Grant. I wish Grant would have shown up in my life 25, 30 years ago. Take the earned income that you have from your network.
You were too busy trying to get motivated.
No, man, I'm telling you. Here was my mistake. I was always able to earn. I was always an earner. So my mantra, I never had a budget. I never like lived within my means or anything. My mantra was to out earn my expenses. Whatever my expenses were, I just earn that, make sure I'm paying my taxes, do all that stuff. But what I didn't get the leverage, and I had leverage in my business, build huge teams, made $1 million a year for many, many years. What I didn't do, which is what I would suggest everybody here do and learn from Grant, because he's one of the best I know at doing this, is take your earned income, don't spend it, and invest it. Invest it wisely, invest it smart, so that money goes to work for you, and then spend the returns on your investment, not your earned income. I mean, that for me, now you're getting to leverage.
You do that, you're guaranteed to be wealthy, not rich, wealthy.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to some questions.
Yeah.
Thomas asks, what is your advice to a short introduction via a short talk with a potential prospect?
I want them to go someplace. Hey, would you spend 30 minutes with me Tuesday night if I could show you how to become a millionaire?
Just something quick. You either meet me.
I don't want to explain this. I don't want to explain to them what it is. I'm trying. You got to be. If you're trying to get an appointment, you're not going to stop me and get me to do something right now. Like the likelihood of you stopping me right now, this moment, I'm walking out to an elevator. I got some other place I'm going. By the way, if I have no place to go, you don't want that guy at your meeting. You want people to have some place to go. Like, you can't stop quality people.
That's a good phrase. Can't stop quality people. How can I be a superstar on social media?
Well, you got to be consistent first.
Consistent and entertaining.
There's no superstars in the world in any business that aren't consistent. So if you want to get great at social media, you got to be consistent.
Gary Z says, what do you say to people who say network marketing isn't a real business, or what would you say?
So yeah, you're right. It's not a real business. It's a
That's what you'd say?
It's a way for you to be 100 times more effective.
Right.
A real business works like this. You go to work for somebody else, and that's what you do every day, and you're stuck in that location. Network marketing is actually to take advantage of those real businesses and give you leverage in a position so you could be in 100 spots, build a team, get recruiting, start earning recurring revenue over long periods of time. It is not a traditional business by any shape or means.
Gabrielle asks, how long does it take?
Let me just say this, Eric, let me just say this, because you'll just go from one question to the next question, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I want to give you as much time as I can.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But you guys, when you guys get an objection, you need to use the objection. You don't need to counter it or overcome it. My wife didn't want to go out with me because I'm too short. That is not an objection. That is a complaint. Okay. Network marketing. Oh, I heard it's a fraud. That's not an objection. That is a complaint. I don't want to sell stuff. It's not an objection. It is a complaint. You guys, you do not handle complaints. You handle objections. And most of you guys, you run after every objection like it's some valid, you run after every complaint like it's some valid objection, and it's not. I don't have time as a complaint. I don't have $19 as a complaint. Okay. I'm not good at this. Can't do that. I tried and I failed. That is a complaint. That is not an objection.
I love that. I've done so many courses on this. I went through 3 phases when it came to objections in network marketing. My first phase was I agreed with everybody and ran away. My second phase was I argued with everybody like crazy. And the third phase is I learned how to effectively build a connection with that person and get to what was the real issue. And today's not designed to talk about all that. You can go YouTube or Google or there's a million trainings that we've done on that.
Yeah,
go ahead,
but we will handle this. We will handle this in communication.
Sure.
On day 5, on how do you communicate to a prospect? How do you communicate to your family? How do you communicate online? Like, I'm not telling new stories, whether I'm in real estate or I'm in 10X, I'm doing my business 10X Health, or I'm doing Cardone University, or we're talking to a bunch of people in the HVAC business that we're in now, or dental that we're entering. I'm not changing what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm using the same basic communication skills to get attention, keep attention, make sure they duplicate what I said, understand it, and I get them to actually do what I intended them to do.
So
like last night I had this meeting with a guy. He knew I was there for this particular thing. Okay. And he went down the road of saying why he couldn't do this particular thing. And while I did not get his agreement to do this particular thing, I know he went to sleep thinking about, I need to do this thing.
To just set up for the future.
Yeah, exactly. I was with a big financial group 9 days ago, big, massive, worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Had a one-on-one meeting with the third person in line at the company. And you guys need to know how to communicate in those situations. You're going to get the opportunity. Okay. If you guys believe you're going to get the opportunity one day to make a big move, okay, put in the text, bigger's better.
I love it.
But yeah. So now what you got to do is, if you think that's going to happen to you, you guys got to start getting ready for it today. Because you don't know when it's going to happen to you, man. I've been looking for the last 10 years, I've been looking for a $10 billion move. Every day I wake up, today's my $10 billion move. Today I'm going to crack something. Today I'm going to become a financial superhero. I can't be Tom Cruise or some of these Will Smith or all these other names. I can't be Kanye. I can't be a rapper or a ball player. I can't be LeBron, but you know what I can be? I can be a wealthy Grant Cardone, and I can take care of the people that I love financially. And I'm not saying money's going to make you happy or healthy. It won't. But I'm going to tell you something. I'd rather have money than not have it. And I'd rather have financial success than not have it, because I can't sing and I can't dance and I cannot shoot. So if you can't play baseball, football, basketball, you can't rap, can't dance, and can't act, I suggest you guys learn how to get some money. And I'm not talking about motivation here either, by the way. The entire 5 days, I will not be talking to you about motivation. I will not be talking to you about how to get excited. Those are temporary things. They come, they go, they don't last. I'm going to talk to you about what you got to do to go to work every day and make sure you're winning.
So let me ask you this.
If you're winning, I think you'll agree, Eric, it's easier to work when you're winning.
100%, 100%.
It's just easier.
Right. So Gabrielle has this question. I can't wait to hear your answer on it. And while you're answering it, Alexi, throw back up the slide. She asks, how long does it take realistically to make $1 million?
Well, just do the math on it. Look, I think a better question is, how many different ways are there to make $1 million?
You did it in 90 days.
Yeah, well, I actually, and we're going to give this away, by the way. I'm going to show you guys behind the scenes what Undercover Billionaire didn't show you. If Jared's watching right now, Jared, one of the things I want to give everybody when they come and stay for the full 5 days, I want to give them behind the scenes of Undercover Billionaire. So what I do is I basically take the entire 90 days. I'm going to go back and show you what they didn't show you, because they couldn't show you because they didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I'm going to show you how I broke down $1 million. And more importantly than how fast it would take, I'll show you the exact math to figure out the time.
He started from nothing. Most of you are starting with more than he got to start with.
Yeah, I had $100.
He had $100 and a car, broke down truck, and a cell phone, no contacts. That's all he had. Most of you have more than that. And 90 days later,
I couldn't use my name. So you guys get to use your name, and you already have a business, and you already have a product, and you already have some kind of reputation. By the way, a bad reputation is better than no reputation. You guys that have a bad reputation, don't worry about a bad reputation. Worry about no reputation. Because when nobody knows you, nobody trusts you.
True. Lewis Curtis. Yeah.
That's
In the
right.
chat. So if you needed to start all over again, everything was taken away from you,
Yeah.
what would you do different this time?
Well, I would, first of all, I'd call you. I'd call you and say, can I rub your shoulder? I'd try to come live with you.
Come on. We got an extra room.
See, the point is, I mean, I would go spend time with people that are successful. I would not spend time with the people that I already, like, I wouldn't go get with comfortable people. People move sideways. They don't move up. You guys want to move up, but you go sideways. You're actually violating the law of attraction. This is why this whole mental thing doesn't work for you guys, because you think big here and then you play small in the world. That's why I tell you that motivation thing, the concept of changing your state or your physical body is not a problem. Okay. I'm 5'8", I'm 170 pounds. Like this has nothing to do with how I'm made up physically, has nothing to do with what I'm doing. What I'm doing has everything to do with what I'm doing. It's just a doing game.
I think that your phrase, we're thinking big up here and then playing small every single day.
Yeah.
One thing
about going up and then I'm going sideways.
Yeah. Or going backwards or taking a day off or whatever.
So that's what I would do, bro. I would make a list of people that I want to go spend time with. And I'd figure out, hey, Eric, I'm busted up. I went backwards. Can I come out and spend time with you for 30 days?
Come on in. That'd be fun. So, and as I'm watching the chat and I'm watching people, throw their questions in, and sometimes I know people are throwing questions just to throw them. But really, in truth, if a billionaire was going to mentor you for 5 days, 90 minutes a time, 90 minutes a day, and bring up his successful friends and lay out all the roadmap of exactly how he did what he did, would it matter what time of day it was? You're asking, what time of day is it? It shouldn't matter. Would it matter if you don't speak English? It shouldn't matter. Find somebody who speaks your language and English to sit next to you and translate as it's going on. Would it matter if it's in the middle of the night, wherever you are in the world? It shouldn't matter. Will it be recorded? It should not matter. None of those things should matter. If you're willing, hungry, and coachable, that should be enough. Just figure it out.
By the way, if you guys speak English, it won't be, you guys speak English, it's not going to be in your language. Trust me.
What's it going to be in?
It's going to be in another language. It's going to be in a wealthy language.
Wealth language.
It's going to be in the success language.
I like it.
It's going to be in a language you don't know yet.
That's so good.
You guys want to understand everything. You need to, when you guys read a book and you highlight everything, all you're highlighting is the stuff you already agree with. You need to look at the stuff you didn't highlight. That's what you didn't understand.
That's fact. That's a fact. So listen, 5 days to change your life.
Yeah, we'll break it down for you. It's going to be very simple. This is not complicated. It's going to be very, very simple. This is not, I've helped a lot of businesses. Nobody would sell me their business. This guy right here, this guy literally gave me his company. Company was making 250 grand, $3 million a year. Literally gave it to me. Okay. Like this is going to happen this year too. For you network marketers out there, like there's going to be so many opportunities. Unbelievable. We took that business in 90 days and that business now makes $4 to $5 million a month. He'll make more money as a 10% owner. Now he had the company, he had the name, he already had the technology in the company, and somebody else took it and just blew it up. What's the difference? Same company. So we just knew things he didn't know. And look what Elon does at Twitter. Watch what he does with Twitter. He knows things other people don't know. And so when you guys get a chance to get around that, man, get around it. Don't say no to it. If I'm not your guy, find somebody. But look, here's the deal. When you learn something, it should immediately affect your finances. Immediately. It should not take a lot of time. You know, when you eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you're hungry, boom, immediately you're full. Information, technology, the right technology should do the same thing. When you put your blinker on, you put your blinker on right. If it's working, it should start immediately. And same thing with success. Like when you start doing that thing, it should move you in that direction immediately. It doesn't mean you're going to be a millionaire or a billionaire in a second, but it means you're moving in the right direction immediately.
So I think the number one reason why I appreciate Grant is he really understands success, and he's successful at breaking it down so the average person can also understand it. He's generous with that information when other people normally keep it to themselves. Second reason why I'm a fan and why we're having this conversation today is he loves network marketing. He supports what we do in our world. And as a billionaire out there, as a successful real estate mogul, as a business builder, as everything else, the fact that he appreciates and understands network marketing says a lot, because there's a lot out there that are just ignorant and just choose to stay ignorant. You know, they're successful in other areas, but they just have chosen to stay ignorant on what it is that we do. Grant got educated. Grant appreciates it. Grant supports it and encourages us and to become more knowledgeable, to take the gift that we have, not only be able to give it to more people faster, but to be able to leverage it. Okay. So Grant, look, I'm grateful that you're doing this. I appreciate you jumping on here, and we'll make sure that we spread this replay around so everybody that we can see gets a chance to see this before the 24th when you start live. I can't wait to be plugged in every day for those 5 days myself personally. Make sure my team is, make sure everybody in our communities are plugged in as well. It's just going to be a great learning experience. I'll give you the last word.
No, just look, 2023 is going to be a pivot year for me. This is going to be an opportunity for me. This is not going to be a problem for me. You guys are about to hear a lot of bad news. Every day you're going to start hearing little pieces of bad data, and then they're going to start mounting up, and then more and more. And trust me when I tell you this, I'm telling you this in January. I've been talking about this since February last year. We've been in a recession since February 2022. Now they're going to start acknowledging what I was telling you back then. And you're going to find out you were lied to, that things were worse than you thought they were. Companies are going to start letting people go. The inflation thing's a real thing for people right now. It's scaring them. And your government, whether you live in Africa, you live wherever you live, man, you live in Australia, your government cannot help you out of this. You need a successful business plan that can scale, that can communicate, that can network, okay, and that can provide you and your family with recurring revenue so that you can build something. And I'll show you guys exactly how to do it, whether you're in Chicago or Croatia, you're in Boston or Detroit or Dubai or wherever in the world, Cincinnati or Singapore. You guys in Canada, I can even help you guys. So I hope you guys don't just register. I hope you show up for it. So, you know, one last thing I'll say is this. Anytime I register, I register for something, I do it, man. Argentina, you guys are welcome to come. France, please come. You guys need this, man. Europe, you guys are you're getting crushed over there. I know what's going on in Europe. The economy's awful. And it's not going to get better when you complain about it. Venezuela, you guys have been suffering long enough. Everybody in South America, Portugal, you guys got tremendous opportunities over there in that part of the world. Cameroon, Nigeria. I got a lot of Nigerian friends that I know are going to be on this. So please come with an open mind. I'll make it very, very simple. It's 90 minutes a day. I promise you'll love it.
Well, Grant, I appreciate you, my friend. We'll throw the graphic up at the end where you can get the link. Make sure you and everybody in your team, because one, you register and show up and get all the information. Two, get everybody on your team, including prospects. Why not give your prospects some value? Show them how we learn together as an organization, how we create leverage on our leverage. right? Show the whole world. Whoever gets the most people onto this thing over the course of these 5 days is going to win for sure. You're going to move forward faster. So start leveraging your little celebrity now so you can be able to build a bigger celebrity later. All right? Everybody, have a great day. Love you. Appreciate you, Grant. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
Thank you,
Can't
Eric.
wait to play backgammon with you soon.
You're the best, man.
See you, brother.